Museum.org. All right, 19 minutes after 8 o'clock. Thank you for tuning in. Gosh, it's just a beautiful day. It doesn't get really any more beautiful than this. It'll get hotter later on in the year, but it doesn't get any more beautiful than this, right? 80-something degrees today, right? All week long is going to be this way. Oh, my gosh. I guess we need rain, though, right? That's the part of this that you don't like. Even though we like when it doesn't rain, you still need rain, right?
Exactly.
If your lawn needs watering, what do you do? What do you normally do? You hook up that sprinkler, you drag the hose out to the middle of the yard, right? And the kids run through it, right?
That's right. It's fun.
The world has changed so much. Not that you can't still do that, but if you want something high tech that is really just cool, man, just go to this website, Rainbird.com. I just went there and I was looking at some of these things. Joe Lemple is on the phone. He's been with us before. He's a gardening expert. He's the creator, the executive producer, and the host of the multi-award-winning PBS series called Growing a Greener World. And he's on to talk to us about the Rainbird in-ground sprinkler system and also about Earth Day, which is coming up April 22nd, I think.
Yep.
Joe Lemple, good morning, sir. How are you?
Hey, I'm good, Larry. Good morning.
Where are you calling from?
I'm in Atlanta, just up the road.
Good weather up there, too. The whole East Coast has good weather this week, right?
It is gorgeous. It could not be prettier right now.
Are you going through a mini drought as well? We've got kind of a mini drought going on.
We sure are. We're definitely going through a mini drought. All the more reason why, you mentioned that watering, why that's more important. When we get it, we want to embrace it, but when we don't have it, we need to supplement that irrigation, but we need to do it efficiently. In Florida is a good example of this, because when you guys irrigate, you spend a lot of water and a lot of money outside irrigating those lawns and those gardens. And,
right.
Overall, it's like 9 billion gallons of water per day is used for outdoor irrigation, and they say statistically that about half of that is wasted. That's a lot of water.
And is it wasted because it's watering the street? Is that why?
Well, that's a great point. Well, it's watering the street, it's watering at the wrong time. That's one of the biggest mistakes that we unknowingly make when we're irrigating our lawns, especially, is that we do it at the wrong time of day. Like, ideally, you want to do it early in the morning when it's calm, basically between 5 a.m. and 10 a.m., before the wind kicks in, before it's too hot, and you lose a lot of that evaporation. So that's the first thing. Ideally, you want to do it between 5 and 10. And then you want to use, if you ever can get an in-ground irrigation system for your lawn, that's the most efficient way to do it, because the systems are much more precise these days, and then you combine a good timer with it, and you're able to water at the right times. And today, you alluded to this a minute ago, using an efficient timer like that Rainbird product that just came out, this Wi-Fi timer. People can buy that at Home Depot, for example, for $139 and install it to any system that they have now, any in-ground system that they have now. Super simple. And then they can precisely control when their irrigation systems go off. For example, I know you've seen this because I see it all the time, that downpour, and you drive by that house and that sprinkler system's going on.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Well, they've figured that out. This Rainbird Wi-Fi timer, it connects to your zip code, the local weather information to your zip code. So it knows when it's raining, and it'll override that system and shut it down temporarily. And if it's too windy or too cold or too hot, whatever, it adjusts.
Oh, wow. That's cool.
Yeah. Or you can override it. I mean, you can take control of it, but the point is, we can't control Mother Nature, right? So we want to work with her, not against her, and so we just let that automatic feature kick in on that timer. So it makes our lives a lot easier.
One of the things, I don't know if this is true for every municipality, but in our town, we have rules that you can only water on certain days. I don't know if they're in effect right now, but I think that it'll be in a month or so we'll start to get that notice.
Yeah, I think they are.
But it does not apply to underground watering. You can have underground watering any day of the week. I don't know why, but that's what our legislators decided. So, and it looks like the Rainbird product does that, correct?
Well, that's right. I mean, and again, here we go with this. We're talking about efficiency. What government municipalities are worried about is watering efficiency. So when you have these underground or in-ground systems or drip irrigation, you're doing precision watering. So it makes all the difference in the world in how much water we put onto our lawns and our gardens. So they recognize that, and they sort of reward those who are trying to do the right thing with these more up-to-date systems, like drip and in-ground irrigation.
What I think is cool, and when you looked at the website again, and just go to rainbird.com and everybody, you'll see what I'm looking at, but professional landscapers, golf courses, for example, use this. And the average person might say, gosh, I wish I could keep my lawn looking like that. And now you've got the price, what'd you say, $139? That's pretty good.
Yeah, $139. And here's the other thing. One of the reasons why those yards and those professional lawns look so good is they're watering the right amount, not just at the right times, but the right amounts, because more lawns and plants are killed from overwatering than underwatering. So we can control the amount and the timing with these systems. And you know that timer I mentioned a minute ago, that Wi-Fi timer from Rainbird, you can win that plus an installed in-ground irrigation system. They have a sweepstakes going on right now, and people can just go onto that website that you mentioned, Rainbird.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Right, so it's rainbird.com/rain delay sweepstakes. But you go there, and you can just say what you do on a rain delay, like you watch old movies or you check your emails. You know, they just it's a fun little contest, but it registers you for this chance to win a completely installed in-ground system plus the Wi-Fi timer.
And that's worth $3,000. The in-ground system plus
more,
the timer, more than $3,000.
Wow.
Yes, I know, right?
Through April 22nd, people have a chance to enter.
Oh, okay. So can you set this up so that it'll water the grass one way and your garden a different way?
Well, it depends on how your in-ground system was installed. So what you're controlling with the timer is when the irrigation system goes off and how long it waters and what zone. It'll control up to 8 zones. So if you have zones for your in-ground beds or your vegetable garden and your lawn, you know, it'll speak to 8 different zones. So, you know, it's that smart and that easy to install. So it's you got to love technology today.
Are there sprinkler heads? There are, or no?
It depends on what your system is that is already installed, or if you're getting one installed, like in the sweepstakes, you can customize it. Yeah.
Okay. Well, because the sprinkler heads, I notice sometimes. I mean, I don't notice it, but I know sometimes they become a nuisance. They could trip on them. Your lawnmower can go over them. Do these retract?
Oh, yes. They're in ground, and they'll pop up. You know, the water pressure in the springs allow those heads to emerge from the ground level, so they're at grade, and then they come up. So you're not going to trip on them. That's part of the beauty of the improvements that have been made over time with these systems, both in the equipment and the technology.
And this isn't just for lawns. You can put them in your flower garden or in a vegetable garden if you have it.
Absolutely, and that's the other thing is you can dial in, you can fine tune the systems that you're using to water those specific areas, because lawns need more water and a different type of application than maybe your rose garden does. So you can customize those different zones that way based on the equipment. So it's pretty cool.
Kind of fun if you have a dog out there. Can you just turn it on? Can you turn it on with your phone?
Yes, you can. Yes, you can use your phone.
I'm a practical joker at heart. So the dog is out there, and you can just kind of squirt him a little bit.
Oh yeah. It's an app-based system. I would like to do that with deer myself here around here. So, good idea.
And do you recommend watering in the evening time too, when the sun's going down, or is it better?
No, actually. That is a great question, and a lot of people do that thinking, well, I'll get more mileage with my water, but you don't want to keep lawn grass or foliage on your plants wetter longer than necessary, because that can promote additional diseases. And that's why we say water between 5 a.m. and 10 a.m. That's the optimal time of day. It's the best of all worlds, but not at night.
Oh, because otherwise fungus could grow if the water stays on there.
Right. That's exactly right.
So how do we put this in ourselves? Do we have to dig a ditch and put it in ourselves?
Well, if you're handy like that, you could, but like with the sweepstakes, they're going to install it for you, and that's what I think most people do, unless they're handy and they kind of like that sort of thing, which you could do as far as the in-ground system. But what Rainbird's going to do for whoever wins, they're going to install that for you.
Oh, wow.
But that timer, anyone can install. It's super, super simple to install on any system. So you don't need to be a genius or a DIY guy, which I am neither, but I could install I could install that Wi-Fi timer in a heartbeat. Super easy.
But that part, yeah, okay. And I found on the website where you have the referrals to local contractors. You actually have a link for that. Wow, there's a link for everything these days, right?
There is.
All right, so if you want to enter the contest, what do we do? Just go to rainbird.com?
Yeah, well, you go to rainbird.com/rain delay sweepstakes.
Okay,
that'll take you right to the dedicated page.
Oh, okay. Make sure you put that in there, because I could not find it on the main page.
Right.
Thanks.
Right. Rainbird.com/rain delay sweepstakes.
And down here, at least in our community, where some people are on city water and some people are on well water, are there different hookups for the system you're on?
No, there's not, because the water supply, whether it's city water or the well, is going through the timer mechanism, so that makes no difference.
Oh, okay.
Joe, always good to have you on the show. Thank you for doing what you do. Any plans for Earth Day? We got like 20 seconds.
Yes. Holy cow, I'm planting a bunch of trees. I'm so into trees these days, I'm going to plant a bunch of trees for Earth Day. They're so important.
Really?
Wow.
I have an apple seed growing on my desk right now.
Yeah.
I might plant one tree this year.
Good.
Joe, thank you again. Go to Rainbird.
I appreciate it.
All right, we will be right back.
Fox News Radio, I'm Carmen Roberts. Secretary of State Rex Tillerson's on his way to Moscow. Among the many topics of discussion, the secretary will push the point with Russia that Syrian President Assad must go.
We are not presupposing how that occurs, but I think it is clear that we see no further role for the Assad regime longer term.
The Interfax Russian news agency says Moscow sees the topic as a non-starter. In Sweden, the man arrested for plowing a truck into a crowd confesses to the terrorist crime, and more arrests could follow.
If they're one person or others, that's what we are investigating right now.
Prosecutor Hans Ehrman, and a call for a boycott of United Airlines after a passenger was dragged off an overbooked flight in Chicago. United's CEO is defending his employees, but the Chicago Aviation Department suspended a security officer in the incident. Fox News, we report, you decide.
I'm in almost every school bus and classroom. I go to school with your children. We say the Pledge of Allegiance together. You see me around the neighborhood and you tell me that I'm a pretty good kid. Well, I'm one out of every 5 children in America, and I'm struggling with hunger. This problem is closer than you think. My teacher tells me we can grow up to be whatever we want. I want to grow up to be someone who doesn't go to bed hungry. There's enough food in this country to feed everybody. Please visit feedingamerica.org today and find your local food bank for ways to help. Every dollar you donate helps provide 8 meals for kids like me, quietly struggling with hunger. Together, we are Feeding America, brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
Howdy folks, RL here for Dairy Queen Silver Springs. It's a new year full of good stuff and good food, so come on down to DQ at Silver Springs and start it off right, because we've got things for your heart's delight. Chicken strips and pepper gravy and slaw or chili dogs, oh so savory. Codfish and grilled burgers too, made to order just for you. Creamy and frosty, blizzards and shakes, and all kinds of flavors for goodness sakes. Dairy Queen Silver Springs.